question is tonight is, how does a mass killer, armed to the teeth, get into a building and manage to unload his weapons and kill so many? That's the investigation that's going on right now behind me. And the thing that's always so disturbing and distressing about these horrible murders is that when we stay here tonight and we cover them, is that we know that their bodies are still lying in the buildings because this is an active investigation, knowing that families are at home wondering, could their loved one possibly be alive, unconscious at some hospital or lying on the cold floor of some cafeteria in a government building. But right now, tonight, things are calmer down here on the outside. We don't have the helicopters buzzing us anymore looking for a possible second or third suspect, but the investigation is extremely active here, Texas, New York, trying to find out who this guy was, why he did this, and I suppose why people weren't tipped off that there was trouble awry. Because last night, everything was fine in the lives of these 12 people and their families. This morning, they get up, have coffee, do what every government worker does in Washington, D.C., heads off to work, and is expected to go home at 4 or 5 o'clock or whenever the day ends for that person, and instead this incredible massacre changed everything. 12 people dead, gunned down in a military installation in the heart of D.C. It's so unthinkable, Sean, except we've seen it before, haven't we, Sean?
Yeah, we really have. Do we know any more, Greta, about Aaron Alexis? We know that he had the shooting incident in Texas with a neighbor where he fired a gun into the ceiling, went into the neighbor's apartment. We know he was in the Navy. Anything else we know about him?
Well, we know he didn't have much of a security check. At least we don't. At least that he didn't. He was able to access a military building, so he didn't have much of a security check. At least not a very successful one. It calls into question. We've had the incidents, not a homicide, but Snowden didn't have much of a security check as a government contractor. What in the world are we doing with these government contractors that they seem to have so much access to information and to buildings? And in this instance, it isn't just information. He had access to a building. He was able to get in there. And Sean, you've been in military installations. They're not easy to get into.
Nope.
Why was this guy? Did he have what kind of identification card did he have? How easy is it to jump the turnstile, or how easy is it to overpower someone? But I'll tell you one thing, it's obviously easy enough for him to get in and murder 12 unsuspecting people.
You're saying all this and you bring up the Snowden case. It's difficult for military personnel, Greta, for them to have a firearm in a location like this, or on a Navy base, or anything like it, military base of any kind.
Sean, every military base I've been on, I have felt so safe. I feel in Washington, D.C., I'll tell you, some of the streets are dangerous. Lots of times you don't feel safe. I've never felt unsafe in a military installation, whether here at this one or any place else in the country or the world I've traveled. I've even been in Kabul in the military base there, and I didn't feel unsafe. But imagine what all those, the soldiers and sailors and the members of the military who go to these bases every single day. They have felt safe. They've had their colleagues, and then tonight everything gets shaken, or today. I mean, everything gets shaken. Someone can penetrate it so easily and just kill, open fire. I mean, people, firing down at people in a cafeteria, just shooting them. People running for their lives. People heading for desks. Shots being fired into the walls. Not knowing what's going on. Is that just a desk falling, or is someone shooting? All the terror that these people went through, and not just in 197, but in the buildings around when they heard the announcements. To stay where you are, stay sheltered, because there's a shooting going on, and no one knew. Am I going to be the next one? Is my office going to be the next one to be penetrated? Where's the killer? Is he next door, coming to our floor? That's the terror. And of course, it's even worse for 12 people and their families.